As the new pictures of the 15-year-old missing schoolgirl Megan Stammers and her maths teacher emerge, detectives say they're hoping her school friends can shed some light on where they now might be. They disappeared after boarding a cross-channel ferry last Thursday. At the same time, it's emerged that their Eastbourne school, Bishop Bell, has had 3 child safeguarding issues in the past 3 years. Despite this, the inspection body Ofsted commended it as outstanding in its dealings with safeguarding issues in 2010. Katie Razzle has this report.
Newly released pictures show Megan Stammers and Jeremy Forrest as they travelled to France last week. Police hope seeing them together will help the public recognise the pair, wherever they are. Windows are covered at the home he shared with his wife of just 1 year, until last Thursday when the maths teacher persuaded the 15-year-old pupil to run away with him. A neighbour had this message.
He's a silly boy. He's messed his life up. Well, messed a lot of people's lives up, really, but come back, you know, bring the girl back. You got to, really. He must know he's wrong.
I feel steady till I lose my feet.
A budding musician, the 30-year-old took a ferry to France on Thursday night with the girl half his age. Mr. Forrest had been giving extra maths lessons to Megan Stammers, with friends claiming the relationship had been going on a while. She's understood to have contacted a friend to say she'd arrived safely, but there's been no word since. The pair now the subject of an international search. Her school facing questions over how long they've known and how they dealt with it. Channel 4 News has learned this is not the first time this school has been embroiled in allegations involving the questionable safeguarding of youngsters. It's made the headlines not once, but twice before. Robert Healy was a teacher here. 3 years ago, he was jailed for grooming and sleeping with 2 teenage girls at Bishop Bell. The school's chair of governors until last November was Canon Gordon Rideout, but he had been suspended as a minister by the diocese 14 months before, after allegations of sex offences against children dating back to the 70s came to light. One of the responsibilities of his job at the school, safeguarding children. He's since been charged with 38 sexual offences against youngsters.
My reaction when I heard that Bishop Bell School was again subject to a child protection issue was both concern and not surprised. There was an ongoing concern for us that Bishop Bell School didn't have proper safeguarding procedures in place. We already had the concerns about Canon Gordon Rideout being the chair of governors, and now we see that a teacher has run off with one of the pupils.
So why did the school allow Gordon Rideout to remain as its chair of governors for so long? We asked them that, along with many questions about Megan Stammers' case. They said they couldn't comment in detail because the police investigation is ongoing. They do, though, have serious questions to answer.
All I see.
This song by Jeremy Forrest is online for all to see. It reportedly refers to a school trip when the pair were allegedly caught holding hands on the plane as they flew back from Los Angeles in February.
Sitting on the plane, we were miles away from the things you hate. But girl, I do it all again.
He sings he'd do it all again, but it's understood another pupil on the trip told the school what she'd seen. They informed the police last week, 7 months later. Today they said,
the school and the county council had been addressing and investigating concerns that had been raised in line with procedure when this happened. That investigation will continue and we will decide what action to take.
But as pupils left Bishop Bell School tonight, the authorities appear no closer to finding Megan Stammers and the man who has abused the position of trust he was given as her teacher. Katie Razzle, Channel 4 News in Eastbourne.
We're joined now by our social affairs editor, Jackie Long. Jackie, for any school to have 3 child protection issues of such gravity in 3 years is surely going some.
Well, the Ofsted definition of safeguarding children is a pretty basic one. It is to prevent children from suffering maltreatment. Now, given that a teacher at this school in 2009 was convicted of sexual offences against 2 of the pupils, he was actually convicted of these offences, it would seem extraordinary to many that in the Ofsted report of 2010, it was declared that the school's safeguarding procedures were outstanding. that governors rigorously pursued those procedures. Now that seems a pretty amazing verdict to come to, given the facts. Now, we highlighted this issue a couple of years ago when we discovered that there were many instances of teachers who were either suspected of or convicted of sexual offences, and that Ofsted hadn't mentioned it in their reports. Now, it's quite possible that Ofsted aren't always told, but experts I've been speaking to this afternoon say that's just not good enough. If you are going to boldly state in one of your reports that a school's procedures are outstanding, you ought to be pretty clear that that is the case. There's obviously another huge safeguarding question tonight, and that is why Canon Rideout was allowed to stay in place as Chair of Governors for 14 months after the CRB check exposed certain allegations against him. And although we can't say very much about that for legal reasons, it's quite clear there are many questions to be answered by the many bodies involved in this case.
Jackie Long.